Welcome back to our channel. Hope you have relaxing moments listening to stories. We invite you to embrace the moment by liking the video, sharing your reflections in the comments, and subscribing to remain connected with our latest narratives. I never anticipated that a simple dinner would completely transform my reality. That evening, I had every detail arranged with care. My husband, Andrew, had invited his closest friend, Benjamin, for dinner, and I had poured my heart into ensuring that every detail was perfect. Benjamin had been a constant presence in Andrew's life since their college days, and while we had enjoyed countless meals together over the years, there was something about this night that felt distinct. I found myself lost in a sea of uncertainty. The table was adorned with elegance, white linen draping gracefully, while the gentle flicker of candlelight created a warm glow that danced upon the wine glasses. The warm fragrance of roasted chicken and rosemary enveloped the space, a soothing essence that evoked memories of intimate family gatherings. I rearranged the blooms in the centerpiece, inhaling deeply as I smoothed my dress, the sound of their laughter drawing closer from the living room. Benjamin possessed a natural ease, a warmth that enveloped those around him, creating a space where comfort and connection flourished effortlessly. But tonight, there was a different spark in his eyes, something profound, a moment of uncertainty. As we settled into our seats, the dialogue began to unfold with a natural ease. Whispers of their college days, cherished inside jokes that never failed to bring a smile, no matter how many times they were shared. Andrew poured the wine, and we raised our glasses in a heartfelt toast to friendship, to cherished memories, and to the beautiful years we had shared together. Then, in that delicate moment between the second glass of wine and the first taste of dessert, Benjamin's expression transformed. He ran his fingers along the edge of his glass, his expression thoughtful as he glanced between me and Andrew. "I have something to share with you both," he murmured, his voice softer than it had been. A gentle shiver coursed through me, even amidst the cozy embrace of the room's warmth. Andrew, unaware of the moment's intensity, reclined in his chair, a hint of intrigue flickering in his gaze. "Oh, Benjamin, let's not turn this into a scene," Andrew said with a light-hearted chuckle. Yet Benjamin remained silent. His fingers danced lightly on the table, and then he let out a soft breath, his gaze drifting toward me. "This is all for you, Evelyn." A flutter of tension stirred within me. "Is it me?" I spoke again, striving to maintain a calm tone. Benjamin responded with a gentle nod. He stole a fleeting glance at Andrew before redirecting his complete focus onto me. I'd been meaning to express this for quite some time, yet the perfect moment always seemed to elude me. And now, I feel the urge to speak my truth, to let my voice be heard. Andrew released a soft chuckle, a gentle shake of his head following. "Benjamin, what are you trying to convey?" Benjamin felt a tightness in his throat, his Adam's apple rising and falling with each breath. He leaned closer, his voice soft and intimate, almost a secret shared between them. "For years, I have held a deep respect and admiration for Evelyn." The atmosphere shifted in an instant. Andrew stood still, caught in the moment. I stood still, caught in the moment. The rhythmic ticking of the clock in the background grew increasingly pronounced, filling the space with an almost palpable tension. The rhythm of my heartbeat echoed in my ears, while my fingers curled instinctively around the fork. My mind wrestled with the weight of the words that had just been uttered, words that seemed so foreign at our dinner table, yet lingered in the air like an undeniable truth. Andrew was the first to respond. He released a soft, incredulous laugh, gently shaking his head in disbelief. "All right, Benjamin, it seems you've indulged in a bit too much wine. Shall we?" "I'm serious," Benjamin interjected, his voice steady and resolute. "My intention is not to stir any discord. For years, I've kept it hidden, prioritizing our friendship and honoring your marriage. Yet, I can no longer wear a mask." A wave of lightheadedness washed over me. My hands quivered gently as I placed my glass down, memories swirling through my mind like a soft breeze. Benjamin had always been a comforting presence. Celebrations, cherished moments, intimate gatherings. He had always been gentle, always considerate. Yet, I had never allowed myself to imagine this. Andrew's jaw clenched with a quiet intensity. He rose with an unexpected intensity, the sound of his chair gliding across the floor echoing in the stillness. He whispered in disbelief, his voice barely breaking the silence. "What prompts you to share this with us at this moment?" Benjamin held his gaze, steady and unyielding. "Because I believed I could embrace it. Yet, I find myself unable to do so." He turned to me, his expression open, filled with depth. "Hannah, I hold no expectations for you. I can sense the deep affection you have for Andrew. I would never want to interfere with the bond you share. Yet, I felt compelled to share my truth with you, if only for a moment in time." Andrew's gaze lingered on me, anticipating my response. But what was I meant to express? A part of me yearned to brush it aside, to chuckle softly and act as if it had never occurred. Another facet of my being. I found myself in a place of uncertainty. An intense, unvoiced connection lingered in the atmosphere. An unexpected tension enveloped me. I took a deep breath, gathering the strength to speak. "Is that you, Benjamin?" I paused, selecting my words with intention. Words seemed to escape me. Benjamin nodded, a knowing look in his eyes, as if he had anticipated that response all along. He gazed at his hands, releasing a slow breath. "I'm sorry," he murmured gently. I felt the need to finally express my thoughts. Andrew's hands tightened at his sides, his breath deepening with intensity. He whispered, a hint of vulnerability in his voice, "You had no right. You have no place here, Aunt." "I'm not attempting to come between you and her, Andrew," Benjamin interjected softly. "I simply wished for her to understand." Stillness. Oppressive, lingering stillness. My heart raced, a rhythmic thrum echoing within me. My mind swirled with a myriad of feelings, stirring deep emotions I wasn't prepared to face. I gazed at my husband, then shifted my gaze to Benjamin, the man whose words had effortlessly transformed everything. The evening began with soft laughter, enveloped in a gentle warmth. Yet, as I sat there in the soft glow of candlelight, a profound understanding washed over me. Everything had irrevocably changed. The stillness enveloped us, lingering in the air as if time itself had paused. My hands felt warm and damp, and the room enveloped me in a tight embrace. I found myself lost in the moment, unsure of where to direct my gaze. At Benjamin, whose revelation had sent my thoughts swirling, or at Andrew, whose expression now burned with intensity. But then my gaze fell upon the table, the untouched dishes, the lingering glasses of wine. Everything had felt so familiar just moments before. In that moment, it seemed as though the very foundation of my existence had transformed, leaving me in a delicate balance of emotions. Andrew's voice pierced the quiet, resonating with a depth and intensity that was entirely new to me. "I believe it's time for you to leave, Benjamin." Benjamin's expression softened, a blend of sorrow and remorse illuminating his features. He parted his lips as if to speak, yet a moment's hesitation held him back, as if weighing the unspoken words in the air between them. Instead, he rose gradually, the chair's soft scrape against the floor breaking the stillness that enveloped the room. I stood still, enveloped in uncertainty, grappling with my next move, my response lingering in the air. Benjamin had always been a comforting presence, a gentle anchor in the ebb and flow of our lives. How could he have hidden this from me? What is it about this moment that feels so significant? "I'm sorry, Evelyn," Benjamin whispered, his voice rich with an unspoken feeling that lingered in the air. "My intentions were never to cause you pain." The words carried a deep sincerity, yet their meaning remained elusive. How could he have held such deep feelings for me all this time and remained silent? How was it possible for him to bear such a burden, and yet I remained unaware? Andrew remained silent. He turned away, moving slowly across the room, his fingers threading through his hair, a silent expression of his inner turmoil. I rose gradually, the atmosphere thick with an almost palpable intensity. "Andrew," I whispered gently, yet he remained oblivious to my presence. I moved across the room toward him, my heart laden with uncertainty. "Andrew," I called out again, my voice laced with urgency and a hint of vulnerability. "I'm here, ready to listen to you. He turned to face me then, his gaze a blend of longing and uncertainty. You don't understand, Evelyn, this goes beyond just Benjamin. This speaks to the deep connection we share, the foundation of all that we have created together. I gently shook my head, a wave of emotion washing over me, causing my chest to constrict. I never sought this from him, Andrew. I was unaware. Your lack of awareness doesn't concern me. He interrupted me, his voice filled with intensity. He has carried this weight for years, and now he has revealed it to us with such intensity, and you're suggesting it holds no significance. I never claimed it was insignificant. I spoke, striving to maintain a calm tone. Yet, this moment transcends just you and me, Andrew. It revolves around him, the depths of his emotions. His feelings are his own, yet they do not mirror my own. Andrew's expression softened, a subtle shift that hinted at deeper feelings beneath the surface. You're missing the essence of it, Evelyn. This entire experience transforms everything. What will it take for me to find that trust in him once more? What makes it possible for me to place my trust in you? The words pierced deeper than I would like to acknowledge. I grasped the depth of his anger, yet a poignant ache of betrayal stirred within me. After years of unwavering devotion to Andrew, a wave of uncertainty washed over me, leaving me to ponder the very foundation of our bond. Benjamin approached the door, his movements deliberate and weighted, as though each step carried the burden of unspoken thoughts. I will leave, he murmured softly. He has returned to us. I wished for a different farewell, one filled with lingering moments and unspoken words. The air is thick with unspoken feelings, lingering and unresolved between us. Benjamin, please, I called softly, taking a step closer. He lingered, his fingers gently resting on the door handle. Our eyes met briefly, filled with unspoken understanding. I apologize, Evelyn. I truly am. Before I could find the words, he slipped away, the door whispering shut in his wake. The room held a haunting stillness without him, and I found myself turning to meet Andrew's gaze. The fire in his gaze had dimmed, giving way to a deeper, more profound pain. You never mentioned that Benjamin had these feelings, Evelyn. Why? My heart felt heavy. I felt a void, Andrew. Not in that way. But what gives you such certainty? He leaned in closer, his voice taking on a gentle warmth. What makes you so certain that you never experienced any feelings for him? I paused, for I found myself uncertain. The words lingered softly in the space between us, delicate and uncertain. It seemed as though I was seeking to persuade both him and my own heart. Andrew observed me intently, his gaze enigmatic, before releasing a heavy breath. Perhaps I simply require a moment to absorb everything, he whispered, his fingers gliding over his features. I'm feeling a swirl of thoughts and emotions at this moment. I comprehend, I murmured softly. I simply require some time as well. He nodded, his gaze drifting, before he turned away and moved toward the window. The gentle illumination of the streetlights outside danced upon his features, creating a play of light and shadow. I sensed a profound distance emerging between us, as if a change had stirred within him, and maybe within me as well. Throughout the night, our words were few. Andrew withdrew into the quiet of his reflections, as I remained at the table, my heart swirling with a tempest of feelings and uncertainty. He seemed more withdrawn than ever, a veil of distance enveloping him. He seemed like a stranger, yet there was an undeniable connection, a shared sense of being adrift in the same vast sea of uncertainty. The dinner that had started with warmth and flowing dialogue now felt like a fading echo. The warmth and connection that once enveloped them had dissipated in the aftermath of Benjamin's revelation. The night unfolded in a gentle hush, with the soft ticking of the clock in the corner marking the passage of time. The passage of time felt transformed, languid and weighty. As I lingered in the stillness of our home, a gentle ache filled my heart as I pondered whether we could ever reclaim the life we once knew. The days that followed were imbued with a haunting, unvoiced intensity. Andrew and I exchanged few words, and when we did, it felt as if we were treading lightly, careful not to disturb the delicate balance between us. Benjamin's confession hung in the air, enveloping us in an unspoken tension that colored each conversation, each fleeting moment. That night lingered in my thoughts, a beautiful echo that I couldn't help but revisit time and again. Benjamin's words lingered in the air, the expression on Andrew's face spoke volumes, and the atmosphere felt charged, as if it held secrets we were both hesitant to confront. The morning after Benjamin departed, I sought to connect with Andrew, hoping to unravel the emotions swirling within me, but he had withdrawn into silence. There was no fault to find in him. I found myself in a haze of uncertainty about my emotions as well. Yet the quiet, the space that now characterized our sanctuary, felt like a weight too heavy to bear. There were moments when I would find him gazing out the window, lost in thought, and I would ponder what emotions swirled within him, what dreams danced in his mind. A wave of guilt washed over me. I hadn't offered Benjamin my support. He had never crossed my mind in such a manner before. Yet, the heaviness of his revelation lingered profoundly within me. Why had I been blind to the whispers of fate that danced around me? How is it possible for someone to conceal such profound emotions for an extended period? Why did it stir such a sense of betrayal towards Andrew, even when I knew I had done nothing wrong? One evening, a week after the dinner, I found myself alone in the living room, the gentle glow of the lamp creating a dance of shadows on the walls. The house seemed to echo with a profound stillness, lacking the familiar sounds of laughter, conversation, and the gentle rhythm of life. Andrew was at work, and I had devoted the day to unraveling the tangled emotions of our situation. There were no definitive answers, only a swirl of contemplation, a deep dive into thoughts I had never explored before. As I drifted in the depths of my thoughts, the sudden chime of the doorbell pulled me back to reality, breaking the spell of my quiet contemplation. I rose to my feet, my heart pounding in a way that felt both thrilling and unfamiliar, and opened the door to see Benjamin waiting there, his expression a mix of hesitation and longing. Benjamin? I inhaled deeply, taken aback by his unexpected presence. What brings you to this moment? I needed to talk to you, he said gently, his hands tucked away in his pockets. I understand I shouldn't have arrived, yet I felt an undeniable pull to not let things remain as they are. I moved aside, inviting him in with a gentle gesture. It was unexpected to see you here, Benjamin. Andrew. I held back, caught in a moment of uncertainty about my own words. Benjamin stepped inside, his gaze wandering the room, a hint of uncertainty in his demeanor as he contemplated where to settle. What should I do now? I understand, he murmured softly, a hint of regret in his voice. I had to catch a glimpse of you before I went away for good. I've been reflecting deeply on everything, and I recognize that I've tangled things up quite a bit. Yet, I find myself compelled to express my sincerest apologies, Evelyn. I feel a deep sense of gratitude towards you. I paused, allowing his words to wash over me, seeking to grasp their deeper meaning. The air between us was charged, a palpable energy that seemed to envelop us. Benjamin, what made you share that with me? What compelled you to speak those words that evening? Benjamin let out a soft breath, his eyes drifting downwards, lost in thought. Because I could no longer hold it within. I believed it was a secret I could hide away. Yet, the reality is, I've held on to it for such an extended time. And when I beheld you that night, I couldn't feign indifference to the significance it held. He gazed at me then, his eyes brimming with a deep sense of remorse. I acted with only my own desires in mind, Evelyn. Regret lingers in the air, a whisper of words that should have remained unspoken. It was never my intention to bring hurt, yet it seems that's the path I've taken. His words resonated within me more deeply than I had anticipated. His voice carried a profound sense of vulnerability, filled with an undeniable rawness. It was not the revelation that stirred me in this moment. The weight of regret lingered, a profound understanding that he had been grappling with this for years. I inhaled deeply. Benjamin, you didn't need to bear that burden by yourself. Yet, you are correct. It would have been better to hold that close to your heart. Your actions have placed Andrew and me in a challenging situation. I understand, he murmured softly. And I truly apologize. I never intended to cause any harm." His eyes revealed a deep sincerity, reflecting the weight of the pain he carried for what he had done. Yet, I understood that I could no longer bear this weight of feelings alone. Not meant for him. Not meant for just anyone. "Andrew's in pain," I murmured gently, my voice trembling ever so slightly. "And I feel the pain as well. Yet, we must allow ourselves the gift of time, Benjamin. I'm unable to mend this for either of us. We both require some time apart to explore how we can progress from here." Benjamin nodded, the significance of my words lingering in the space between us. "I see where you're coming from. I didn't arrive with the intention of mending anything. I have come to express my sincerest apologies. And to offer you the freedom you desire." We lingered in that moment, the silence enveloping us like a warm embrace. At last, he stepped back, a knowing nod escaping his lips. "I will take my leave now. I want you to feel the depth of my remorse." I observed him as he walked away. As the door softly clicked shut behind him, a wave of unexpected relief washed over me. The journey was far from complete, lingering in the air like an unspoken promise. Perhaps it was the beginning of a journey toward restoration. As the evening unfolded, Andrew returned home. He appeared weary, his features etched with the weight of fatigue. But he hesitated as he caught sight of me on the couch, lost in thought, gazing into the distance. He remained silent about Benjamin. There was no necessity for him to do so. The silence shared between us spoke volumes. Instead, he settled next to me, his presence enveloping me with warmth and assurance. "I'm not sure how to express this, Evelyn," he murmured, his voice a gentle whisper, filled with a tender warmth. "You need not utter a word," I responded, my voice soft and delicate, almost a breath. "All we require is a little time." Andrew took my hand, his touch soft yet assured. For the first time in ages, a warmth enveloped us, as if we were harmonizing once more, despite the lingering complexities that remained unresolved. Perhaps that was just fine. Perhaps the journey itself holds more significance than the destination. Perhaps we simply needed to navigate this journey side by side, embracing each moment as it comes. With each passing day, the weight of unspoken feelings gradually started to ease. Andrew and I found ourselves enveloped in each other's presence, sharing intimate conversations, rediscovering our bond, and navigating the path ahead after the unexpected revelation from Benjamin. We were in the midst of our healing journey, discovering the path that lay ahead. Yet, a glimmer of hope emerged, delicate and tender, suggesting that we might rise above this together. Perhaps, in that moment, the truth guided us toward a new journey, one that would unveil a profound connection between us, a bond of trust, and a true essence of love. Thank you for listening, have fun and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to update the latest stories.